Hi, it's Jane, and on today's WOTWIP and Coffee, do have iced coffee. I'm going to be doing a little bit of knitting, so I hope you'll join me. Need to try to get this kind of discombobulated, because it's a bit of a mess. Okay. At least now I have a clue where I'm at. Of course, the yarn's all tangled up. Well, we'll just have to play with that as we go. Last time I was at this point, I've gotten this much more done. So let me move my progress keeper up. And we'll get to knitting and chatting. In my area, the Xfinity is doing upgrades on their system. And unfortunately, while they are doing it, I have no cable and no cell phone available. Luckily, I'm filming this Thursday night. Since, I'll get to that story. Filming it Thursday night because all day Thursday, today, I had no cell phone or internet here at the house. Once I got away from the house, I had cell phone and I could use whatever places I was at, their internet. Which I had a Bible study and I had some of the other things that I had to do. So I did all of that today and had that available. But Xfinity had chosen today to fix that, to work on that, and then another day on the 18th. So when I was coming home this afternoon about 1:30, I see the one guy working on the line. One guy. Well, this is a line that has been ignored for years and years and years. And so I'm like, he may not be able to get it done today. You know, because he's got to go quite a distance to get things, to work on things. So I'm like, well, maybe it's not what I think it is. And of course, the whole idea is they're going to improve the gigabyte speed of the internet, those kind of things, and some other things that they've had issues with. So, and I say I didn't have cell phone. I did sort of, but it was pretty sketchy. It was touch and go all day. But since they didn't get it done, they're going to start back up tomorrow at 6 a.m. And then again, they'll be back out on the 18th. Do the same thing. I suppose. I don't know exactly what they're doing. But like I said, there was only one guy out there working. Maybe there was another guy working farther down the line. Who knows? On my property is where the electric company, Verizon, who used to have most of the landlines, and Xfinity, their lines run underground down this mountain to the main road, under the main road, and then from there it goes up a pole to the wires above ground. So that's what they're working on, wires above ground. And that is a problem for a lot of people because a lot of people, when Xfinity came in, they did something that they called their they used to call it the triple threat. And which it was a triple threat from Verizon because a lot of people were backing away from not only Verizon as landline, but Verizon as also their internet providers. So Xfinity called it a triple threat because they were, 1, giving you cable, 2, they were giving you internet, and they were giving you a landline. Well, those landlines did not work at all today for many of the places, and some of those included the businesses who rely on them. So, yeah, talk about a mess for a lot of people. And I know a lot of businesses sent out notices to their clients, letting them know that they would not be able to answer any phones because they wouldn't have phone service. Couldn't answer emails because they didn't have email service. So yeah, it's a bit of a crazy mess. But we live in a digital world, so things happen, right? Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. What can I say? But it's been a rather interesting day. Tomorrow will be another interesting day. So maybe I'll just do some things around the house. Sounds like a good idea, right? Since I won't be able to have a basically cell phone for most of the day, although it might be sketchy. I was wondering if maybe I should go out to Walmart and hang around Walmart for a while. At least I'd have internet and some cell phone service there. It's crazy. And I guess I don't understand why because my cell phone is with Xfinity. And that was because of the whole thing with Verizon. They had started charging me as if I were a brand new customer, even though I'd been on that as Thomas and I had, husband and wife on their system for like, I don't know, close to 20 years. Then all of a sudden, I don't count because Thomas passed away. I no longer qualified for the loyalty program to get a cheaper rate. And I said, no, told him, I said, I don't know. I don't think that's right. So then I started looking around, and at the time, T-Mobile was not in our area. They were working to get into the area. So Xfinity had a plan. So I went with Xfinity. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't know that I'll keep the cell phone with Xfinity. I am going to look at some of the things that T-Mobile has to offer once my contract with them, 2 more months, comes up. Trying to decide, which to go with. But yeah, it's been rather interesting. And what I find funny is the prices that they've quoted me, of course, have gone up $2 on both the cell phone as well as the internet, which were increased taxes, not state taxes, federal taxes on those services. They've gone up twice in the last four months. My cell phone it's a little more than $2. Cell phone for the longest time was only $84 a month, which included paying for a new phone. And that went up to 86 something. And now we're up to 87, almost $88. It's like 87 something. So, and that's 4 months. Those are federal taxes that have been added into this. I don't know about you, but I don't think our federal government knows how to handle money. Handle prices of things and how to basic economics. So I think they should have to take an economics course before they can run for office, and also for them to understand how it works. They think that by taxing the larger companies, that will create more money in your localities, but businesses tend to go where they can keep more money or invest that money into their company to create more employees or more products. And if they're having to take that out for taxes, then they hire fewer people and produce less product. So I don't think our government understands that. And then, some of the spending that they spend on that many of us think that's ridiculous. All those studies about shrimp on a treadmill drunk. Things like that make you go, huh? Yeah. Things are a little crazy these days. But oh well, right? Fall is definitely in the air. Each day I'm seeing new and new leaves fall, which means I get to go down and clean the drain almost on a daily basis so that the water can flow and doesn't block things up. Which, I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure if the drain was to make the water go underneath the road, fit into that system, why it needs to be open above ground. Because we weren't talking about rain or anything like that. It was supposed to keep that water underground instead of flowing over the property. Maybe I need to learn about drain systems, right? Maybe one of these days while I'm out there, I'll take a picture of it so you can see what I'm talking about. Because basically it was just to keep the water flowing that's from that creek underground under the road instead of over the road. But, yeah. Ronan finally the other day let me hold him. And when I say hold him, when he gets up in the chairs with me, he will let me pet him as long as he's like on the side of the chair. He'll let me pet him all I want, but the minute I go to pick him up to hold him and pet him, he runs. He freaks out. He will now when he gets up in the chair. I go to pick him up to hold him, to kind of give him, position him, or he's not got a limb sticking in a part of my body that hurts. Let's put it that way. He'll let me hold him, pet him, that kind of thing, for a long time. Same thing in the bed. He'll lay next to me and let me hold him and that kind of thing. He still will not let me pick him up. If I were to be walking past him and go to pick him up, to hold him, he totally freaks. Don't know that I'll ever be able to do that, which is kind of sad, because trying to get him into the cat carrier, if I have to take him to the vet, is a royal challenge. Let's just put it that way. Many times I've been able to put it down on the ground, and he wants to go in and inspect it and trick him. Had to do that a couple times to get him where I needed him. And I don't like doing that. Izzy, I can pick her up and put her in. No big deal. Of course, I can pick her up anytime. Of course, she is getting to be a pretty heavy girl. So, she is truly a fat cat. She's like her mama, fat and sassy. So, that's been rather interesting, trying to figure out how to limit her on food and trying to increase her activity. We're getting there. She's getting a little slimmer. Not by much. And of course, pets don't understand. And I admit I've been spoiling these cats. And I know I overfeed them. So, of course, most of my life, all of my cats have been indoor-outdoor cats. So there hasn't been a real big issue with weight. Caitlin, who was Thomas's cat, at that time, Thomas and I had decided we didn't want to have outdoor cats because we really didn't want to mess with fleas and ticks and those kind of things. But Caitlin, she pretty much got overweight after she got fixed. And I know that seems to be a normal thing for female cats. But of course, we were spoiling her. And then her brother died, and we spoiled her even more. Of course, she was part Maine Coon, so, most of her was in the fur and the build of her catness. But she did have a little bit of a belly. But, yeah. Indoor-outdoor cats, I never had any male or female get overweight. So, I don't know. I guess there's something for that. With indoors and outdoors, that kind of thing. I have been looking at each year in October, our Christian women's group does a craft fair, and many of us come and vend there, do a craft fair. It's the only craft fair I really do. But I was thinking that I might this year just not do it. But now I'm kind of rethinking it. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet if I am going to do it. Thought about making a few Bible covers. I do have a lot of folks around me that do ask for private bags or book covers, and generally things that they want in it, or, they want a pocket in it so that they can slip in pens or change, or I have one friend who uses hers basically as a purse because she carries her Bible with her all the time. And so she carries her ID in it, purse, some money, pens, pencils, those kind of things that she needs from time to time. So I've done some things like that. So I thought about making some of those for folks who might be interested in them. And of course, doing the Bible purses, those seem to be a big hit. I did sell out last year with those, so I'm thinking about doing a few more of those. They seem to like the one Hobby Lobby with the Amazing Grace and the Bible, the crosses on it. So I'll probably stop up there one of these times next week or so and get some more fabric for that. Of course, I'll wait till it's on sale. And we'll have to get some more interfacing for those. Uses a little bit different interfacing. Uses a craft interfacing. And I don't usually do a quilted cover, although I have done some quilted covers. When you do some quilted covers, you have to add a little more yardage to the item when you're making those. But yeah, kind of looking at that. And that's been a bit of an interesting thing to do. Kind of surprised at how people like those. And I was thinking about making, like maybe some gift card little pouches that folks could use, or if they wanted to slip their ID and credit card and some money down in it, slip into their pocket for when they go to craft fairs, as well as the cell phone bags. So I'm thinking about maybe those kind of things. Of course, if they don't sell, I can put them on the shop. So there's always that option. Right. And the little Bible purses. What I find interesting is how many of the people love those things. And they've just been nicknamed Bible purses. It's basically just a zippered pouch with elastic that goes onto you can use on your Bible, not only as a place to store pens, pencils, and different stuff like that, but you can also use it to carry your ID, money, whatever. So, and you can also use it as a bookmark because it does have the elastic on it. Battery died, so I changed the battery. But anyway, that's kind of fun. I don't mind making those. Those take, minimal time. Don't know if I have enough zippers. May need to order some more zippers. But yeah. I was hoping that this Saturday night that I could show you some of those Halloween bags and some of the Christmas bags, the older bags, and put those up for sale. But we'll just have to see what happens with the internet. Because if the internet's not available, then that's going to make that a little difficult to show up. So anyway, I am planning, like I said, about Saturday to go live and do that. And hopefully everything will be back up and running smoothly by then. If not, then I'll do it another night. It's just how it goes. Every Sunday during the summer months, generally from May through September, one of the local campgrounds, it's a Christian campground that a lot of families come to. They have a lot of different activities and things for them to do for the summer. Well, they always put on a concert series, and they have different groups from around the country come and sing, that kind of thing. And they had booked the Nelons to come next year. Of course, many of you know the Nelons were killed in a tragic plane crash, with the exception of Amber and her husband and their soon-to-be baby, because they were not on the trip. So we don't know what's going to happen there, and she's, trying to work things out with Amber to see if her and her husband would still come and do the concert themselves, even though it would be just the two of them. So it's, it's kind of iffy what's going to happen. But this Friday is the last series in those concerts for the summer, and that I find disappointing. Look forward to them. And I tease the gal that, does all the work to get these people here for us to see. And many of them are great groups, like Glory Way, Texas Star. I mean, I could go on and on. Many of these go from church to different venues to do concerts, those kind of things. And it's always a lot of fun. It's entertaining. There's a lot of laughing. There's a lot of, testimonies going on left and right. And it's been a lot of fun. But this Sunday is that last concert. And I keep teasing Lynette that she needs to just do these year round. She says, well, she can't because for a couple of reasons. Need to continue. They don't have propane to put. They don't have the money to put propane in the tanks that they have for heat during the winter. So she teases about that. I said, every time we've come around, there have been needs, that they've needed out at the camp, and people have found a way to provide it, and, that kind of thing. I said, put that out there, and maybe someone will help you with the heat cost. You never know. Might be a benefactor, and there quite often has been someone who has put down quite a bit of money to help with those kind of things. She said, yeah, but then the other thing is all the other people that help me do this go away to Florida for the winter. They're snowbirds. So that's a nickname they use here. Folks that leave and go to Florida or to warmer climates for the winter. So that's kind of funny to hear that. But, some of the other churches do provide certain concerts each year. They don't do them all the time, but they may, bring groups in every other month, that kind of thing, which is good. It's just a fun way to get to see things, those kind of things. But, yeah, that's ending. Awana has started, and it was good to see a lot of the new kids, as well as some of our older kids that we're very accustomed to. The young man that I was his helper has moved on to college, and I miss him, and I know the kiddos miss him a lot too. So, yeah. But it was also interesting to see how much these kids have grown over the summer from last year. And of course, this year we did a little thing where we had little games out in the field, which I wasn't too thrilled about because mosquitoes, bugs like me, and I get it and bit and all kinds of things. So I've got a lot of itchy spots today. But then afterwards they were doing s'mores with the kids and just some fellowship, socialization, getting to know the parents, getting to know the kids, that kind of thing. Stayed for a little bit, and then I left. Let me put it this way. I would love s'mores, but the problem is that being diabetic, did not want to do a s'more, then go home and go to bed. So, if I can fit it in and then still have some activities, then I would do it. So, chose not to do that. But we have one of the kids in our group this year that moved up from the, preschool into our group. And his father is a pastor at the church. And I like teasing and talking with him. And he has chickens. And he'd asked us in one of our prayer meetings to pray for his chicken, Rosie, because the other chickens are pecking at her. So Rosie has her own hen house by herself. And so I always ask him how Rosie is doing, because he was really concerned about Rosie. And, I do find it interesting that so many people will take in pet chickens, chickens, and not realize that then about the first 30 minutes they're together, they've already determined a pecking order, and they've already determined who's the one that's going to get pecked the most, in a sense, the least of them. So I do know that his mother has been using that as a Bible study lesson, so that's been interesting to follow along with and to see this little boy and his chicken and how he's learning about chickens and raising them. And what's funny is some of their chicks are laying eggs, but they won't eat them and they won't use them. And, I've always found that funny with some people. If you're going to get chickens, I don't know why you're not going to use the eggs, And I had a friend who once told me, well, that's kind of like eating the babies. I can't eat my pets' babies. I'm like, okay. So yeah, interesting to see the difference there with these people. So, what are you working on this week? I have been working on the Ripple Romance and also working on the sweaters. Trying to get those down every little bit I can. When I can sit down and crochet or knit, I'm trying to do that. I miss it. I miss being able to do that a lot, during the day. With having so much stuff to do, it makes it difficult to find time for it. What are some of the ways you find time to put that in to your routine, to your day? And are you watching any good series lately? I have not been watching much TV at all, which is strange for me, because normally, I would watch TV in the evening for a little bit. And it's like, I kind of laugh because with two of my favorite shows have been Station 19 and Grey's Anatomy, and I haven't watched a single episode this year of either one of them. So, and I don't know what that's about either. I guess maybe I sort of do, because when Thomas was alive, we would sit down and watch these different shows. So, NCIS has always been a favorite of mine. Haven't watched any of the episodes of it either. Although I did watch the episode where Ducky, they did the tribute to Ducky. But haven't watched it since. Guess I need to catch up, don't I? Rarely watch the news. Mainly because a lot of it is twisted right or left. And of course, Thomas, when he was alive, his preference was to have it on Fox News all the time. And I was one of those. I like to flip the channels, watch the different news to see what was being said. Left or right, just to get a different perspective. But so now that he is gone, I rarely watch the news at all, and just haven't got back into that habit. Find other things to do. See, I'm itching. Got a mosquito bite all along my wrist. All right, guys, I think I've chatted on long enough for today. I will see you again next week. See you again later this week. So everybody have a great week in the meantime. And remember, be kinder to yourself. Be a little kinder to others. See ya. Bye.